but 3 times, copies of my book, The Traveler, in Spanish, Retrato Ensemble, right, have been found in the possession of serial killers. And often dog-eared, underlined, exclamation points in the margins, big circles on the pages. That kind of makes me a little nervous.
Estás dando ideas.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Por si acaso quiero saber si sos una persona vengativa. Si vos planeás venganza, no es por nada personal, solamente pobre. Estaba escrito, lo había pensado.
Yeah. Well, what was it? The old Sicilian proverb that every mystery writer uses at some point. You know, revenge is a dish best served cold. Everybody uses that at some point. No. I get if I get any sense of revenge I need in the characters, the pages of my books. So but that said, every so often in my books, I'm called upon to name a character or two of, shall we say, questionable background. In the book I have coming out, a rather crucial character is a sex offender and a thoroughly unpleasant guy. And I won't tell you who I named him after, but you did mention an editor when I was young earlier. Yeah, that's how you get revenge as a novelist. Time goes around, you need a character name. You think, that guy who wasn't very nice to me, he had a name. There you go.
Okay. Bueno, como vos sabés, estás prácticamente en la capital mundial del psicoanálisis. Con alguna sucursal en París.
Yes.
Y bueno, veo no solamente en El Analista, sino que en varias novelas, el psicoanalista aparece como un detective. Y quería ver cómo habéis pensado eso, o sea, ¿por qué pensás, como, qué es lo que sabe o puede pensar o puede deducir un psicoanalista para comportarse como un detective?
You know, the funny thing is, I believe that all analysts are detectives. They are merely detectives of that wonderful relationship between the head and the heart. And their probing is about that discovery. We take, in the world we have policemen who solve crimes. But an analyst solves emotions. And it seems to me, in a funny kind of way, there's not all that much difference between the two. But I would say this, that for me, I think that it is far more interesting to write stories where people who do not expect to be detectives are asked to be detectives. Because, in a way, isn't that what we all go through in life? We're constantly asking ourselves questions. We're constantly probing and examining our friends, our neighbors, and what is inside of us. So to me, what's fun is to write about people who are thrust suddenly into those positions. The only difference between my characters and even the analyst of the novel is that most psychoanalysts do not solve these problems with gunfire. If they do in Buenos Aires, you know, the city would be much smaller.
Justamente elegiste un psicoanalista y no un psicólogo conductista, una otra corriente, y te quería preguntar si vos te analizaste o si estudiaste. Bueno, pero si te analizaste, vamos a los detalles. ¿Te estuviste alguna vez en el sillón de un analista?
Sure. I think I broke it. Yes. But no, you know what? My mother is a psychoanalyst. My father is a very well-known lawyer. My mother is a psychoanalyst. I come from a family that believes that with good legal and psychiatric help, anything can be accomplished. But you also, you know, when you write the kinds of books that I do, you have to call upon a lot of interesting kinds of research. And it's mostly the research that you see and feel and hear yourself. And I've always felt that the success of any character in any book that I've written stems from the notion, from the idea, that they are doing what I would do, and that therefore what all of you would do as well.
Justamente, bueno, tus novelas muestran a una persona común que puesta en una situación límite y también muestran cómo saca una cierta clase de heroísmo en esa situación. Yo te quiero preguntar si vos pensás que nosotros tenemos ese heroísmo, la mayoría de nosotros, en algún lado y que lo sacaríamos, o si es un cuento que nos gusta que nos cuenten y por eso compramos tus libros.
Well, first off, I'm not going to say that everybody has it so that you can then stop buying my books. So, yes, I do. I think that I believe very strongly that all of us have kinds of bravery inside of us. Because we never know when we're going to be asked to do something that requires something brave. And it can be simple. Like the day you get, you know, someone in your family gets a diagnosis from a doctor, or it can be more complicated in the case of some of my characters who get swept up in a crime. But I think that there's a commonality to bravery. And I hope that, and I think that, you know, I think that we will all behave in a way when we have really called to reach inside of ourselves and answer a question. You hope that answer can be brought forward. And I think that's what I try to do in the books, you know, for the characters. It's certainly true of the analyst in that novel. He does not know that he can do this, but he does. It's certainly true of the characters in the book, the forthcoming book, that one is coming out later this summer. They are called upon to do things that they did not think they could do. I like that sort of stuff.
¿Querés contarnos un poco de qué se trata?
You mean the new book?
Sí.
Sure.